Welcome to Holyrood Distillery. I'm Mark Watson, the head distiller. Today we're going to go through into the lab and we're going to taste our 4 new make samples from our new make set. It's a pool door. So the way that we build recipes in Holyrood is by breaking down the individual components of the malt, the yeast, and breaking them down to the individual flavors and then building them back up into recipes. So our new make set that we have right here, the Brewer series, focuses on number 1, which is the yeast, number 2, the crystal malt, which is a special type of brewing malt, number 3, the chocolate malt, which is an even more heavily malted in terms of temperature malt, and then 4, the made by Edinburgh, which is the recipe based on those 3 component parts. So what we'll do is we'll just taste through these, nose them, taste them, and you guys get a bit of a feel about what's in each one. So the first one is all about yeast. It's all about our relationship with yeast and the yeast choice that we make based on the recipe. This one is 100% pot still malt, which is base distilling malt, and then we've added a specialty brewing yeast strain to it, and the whole purpose of that is to try and find flavor within those yeast strains. And this one is US-05, and we use that because we want to bring some fruit into this new make. So on the nose, it's like Parma violets, like a little bit lemony, a little bit citrusy, and malty underneath. And on the flavor, the maltiness is the predominant taste to it. It has like a really underlying nice like orangey zest and zing to it. And right at the end, it has like a little creaminess to it, a little Parma violetness as well. And there's a sweetness that runs all the way through it. These are all at 60%, so just feel free if you want to water them down, or you want to mix them with stuff, then feel free to do that. Like, don't feel like you've got to drink them the way you just drink them the way you want to drink them. That's it. That's all you need to say about that. So that's new make 1. New make 2, different again. So we're using the crystal malt, which is a more malted version of the distilling malt. So the temperature's higher on this one. And within that higher temperature, it's all about the use of the Maynard reaction, which is what happens when you cook things and you start to caramelize the sugars. It helps develop further flavors, and that's where you're really working on, for us, finding out what each individual one does. So with this one, a little bit more biscuity, a little bit more caramelly. It doesn't have the fruitiness to it. It's more like a digestive biscuit. Then on the taste profile, there's like a little spice to it, and there's like that sort of burnt toffee that goes along with it. There's like a hint of butterscotch, and then right at the end, there's like the sweetness and the Parma violetness that you kind of get with all 4 of these spirits, and it's kind of indicative of the distillery at the time and what it was making. New make 3. People drink with their eyes. People are led, and this one has chocolate malt. In the title, and so I think you're almost led to look for the chocolate within it. I want us to keep a fresh and open mind when we're tasting this, so that you're getting the flavors within this. So, the chocolate malt. Try and, like I said, try and push it to the back of your head, like there's chocolate in there, and try and really bring down to it. For me, it comes across more bitter than that, more like a really dark chocolate, or like a coffee almost. Like there's that deep, earthy bitterness that goes along with it. Don't think milky chocolate when you're tasting it, because I don't think you'll get it so much. And then underlying all that, there's there's a zestiness, but like a dark berries underneath that too, like you get with like really dark chocolate. Kind of feel like you're tasting other things within that. The flavor of the chocolate malt is really smooth. It has that dark bitterness to it. Like for me, it comes across like more like milky coffee rather than chocolate. And the two, chocolate malt and coffee malt, are almost interchangeable terms. It just depends on which company you're talking. But for us, we use chocolate malt from Crisp, and that's where that name comes from. But for me, I think it comes across much more bitter than that. So the fourth one, everything we do here is about learning. It's about testing. It's about finding out what each individual component part is, and then improving our knowledge based on that, and then coming back and building a recipe from that. And how we do that is, like I said, we've done the individual component parts, so now it's about putting it together in a recipe. How do we do that? Well, for this one, we looked at a very old beer recipe that was based in Edinburgh, and we built our mash bill around that Younger's beer recipe. We added the Edinburgh ale yeast to it, which has a brightness, and it smells amazing when it's fermenting. So let's just nose this straight up. On the nose, you get that brightness instantaneously. There's like a cantaloupe melon to it. There's like a sort of zesty, sort of lemony zing. The maltiness is there, the chocolateness is kind of underneath that. And then you get a little bit of biscuity and a little bit of the caramel from the crystal. On the taste, however, it starts really ziggy. It starts right up the front with like that cantaloupe melon. And then it quickly moves into that chocolate malt and the crystal malt. You're getting this really nice sort of biscuity, think dark digestives, think sort of ginger snap with a little bit of spice to it. And then with this one specifically, the length is longer and brighter. And for us, texture is a big thing that we're looking to play with, and that's why it's really important to learn how to use your stills and also to learn how the purifier works for us to create more texture. I hope you enjoy the set. We really enjoyed making them. And for us, it's really about making something that is indicative to us and Edinburgh itself. Cheers.